Ethan Walker stood in his small apartment on a cold winter night. He looked around at the old clothes, jackets, and shirts he no longer used. He wanted to clean his place before the new year, so he packed everything into a big black bag and stepped outside. The street was quiet, almost too quiet. Fog covered the road like a slow-moving cloud. Streetlights flickered with a strange buzzing sound. Ethan pulled his hoodie closer and walked toward the old donation bin near the corner store. The metal bin stood alone under the dim light. It looked old, scratched, and forgotten by the city. Ethan lifted the heavy lid and tossed the bag inside. The sound echoed loudly, almost like something moved inside. He frowned but told himself it was only the clothes settling. He turned to leave but stopped suddenly. Something felt wrong. A sharp metallic clink came from the bin behind him. He looked back but saw nothing. The lid was closed, still and silent. Maybe a rat, he told himself, and walked away. Halfway home, Ethan froze. His hand reached into his pocket. His wallet was missing. A sudden memory hit him. He had placed the wallet in the bag by mistake. He felt panic rise inside his chest. Everything important was in that wallet. His ID, bank card, office pass, everything. He turned around and hurried back to the corner. The fog felt thicker now, like it wanted to hide the world. The streetlight above the donation bin blinked slower and slower. When Ethan reached the bin, his breath caught in his throat. The bin was open, not just a little open, but wide, like something had pushed the lid up from the inside. The bag was missing. Ethan stepped closer, his heart beating fast. He looked around the empty street. Nothing, no footsteps, no people, no movement. Then he saw her, a figure sitting behind the bin, shivering like she was freezing to death. Ethan's breath turned cold as ice. It was a woman, or something that looked like a woman. She wore his old grey hoodie, but it fit her strangely. Her skin had faint glowing lines, like soft blue light running under the surface. Her hair was wet, as if she had stepped out of a storm. Her eyes were huge, bright, and filled with fear. She looked at him as if he was the first safe face she had seen in a long time. Ethan took a slow step back. He wanted to speak, but no words came out. The strange woman hugged herself tightly and whispered in a shaking voice, "Please, do not scream. I am not here to harm you." Ethan swallowed hard and stepped closer. Who are you?" he asked in a quiet voice. The woman opened her mouth, but stopped, listening to something in the air. Her glowing lines pulsed faster. She grabbed Ethan's wrist suddenly. Her touch was ice cold. She looked into his eyes with pure terror. "They are coming," she whispered, her voice thinner than the wind. "You must not move." Ethan froze as a low humming filled the street. A shadow passed over the fog like a flying machine scanning the ground. The woman pressed herself against the wall. Shaking, Ethan felt his heartbeat in his throat. Something unseen was searching the area. Something dangerous, something that wanted her back. The humming grew louder, then it stopped. Silence returned, heavy, chilling, unnatural. The woman slowly released Ethan's wrist. Her voice was almost broken as she whispered again, "Please, help me, before they find us." And for the first time, Ethan realized his simple act of dropping old clothes into a donation bin had pulled him into something far bigger than his normal life. Something he was not ready for, and something he could not escape now. Mystery grows. Ethan and the strange woman, who had not yet told him her name, moved quickly down the foggy street. The night felt heavier now, as if the darkness itself was watching. She clutched his arm tightly, shivering. Her glowing lines pulsed faintly, giving off a soft blue light. Where are we going?" Ethan whispered. She looked around nervously. "Somewhere safe." "For a moment," she said, her voice low and trembling. They ducked into a narrow alley, hidden between two closed shops. Ethan's heart pounded in his chest. Every sound felt louder in the silence. The woman finally looked at him directly. Her large eyes reflected fear and something else. Ethan noticed faint markings on her skin, glowing softly under the dim streetlight. He swallowed hard. "What are you?" he asked, voice shaking. She hesitated. I am not from here," she said quietly. Her hands shook as she tugged at the edges of his hoodie. "It helps. Hide me from them." Ethan frowned, confused. "Hide you from who?" The woman looked up, her eyes scanning the foggy sky. "They are searching for me." "For us," she whispered. She pressed a hand to her temple, and a faint hum escaped her lips. The hoodie glowed briefly. Ethan's stomach tightened. He had no idea what he was touching. Suddenly, a bright light swept over the alley. Ethan froze. The woman pulled him down behind a trash bin. The light passed slowly, scanning the area as if it could see through walls. Ethan's heart raced. He realized they were being hunted. He felt fear unlike anything he had ever known. The woman finally spoke her name. Talia, she whispered. Ethan repeated it slowly in his mind. Talia, he thought. Such a simple name for someone so strange. She lowered her voice. They experimented on me. In a facility near the city, her eyes filled with tears. They wanted to study my people, to use us as weapons. Ethan shook his head. He could not understand it. Aliens, experiments. It sounded like a nightmare, but her fear was real. Her glowing lines brightened slightly. She pressed a small metallic object against her chest. Ethan noticed it hummed with a soft light. What is that? He asked cautiously. It holds a warning. For your people, she said. Her voice shook. Ethan's mind spun. He had no idea what kind of warning it was, or why it mattered to him. From above, a low humming returned. It sounded mechanical, like dozens of small drones flying silently. The woman's eyes widened. They are close, she whispered urgently. Ethan grabbed her hand. He did not know why, but he felt a strange connection. He could not leave her alone in this. They ran from the alley into a small park. The trees cast dark shadows under the dim streetlights. Every step echoed. Every sound could give them away. Ethan's chest burned from running, but he refused to let go of Talia. Suddenly, a drone appeared, hovering silently above the park. Its sensors scanned the ground slowly. Talia froze. Ethan crouched behind a bench. Her glowing lines flickered rapidly. They can detect us if I move too much, she whispered. Ethan held his breath. The drone hovered for a moment, then moved on. The silence returned, heavy and tense. Talia let out a shaky sigh. Thank you for helping me, she whispered. Ethan nodded, still catching his breath. He realized that his life had changed forever. The ordinary world he knew was gone, and now he was part of something far bigger, something dangerous. And as they hid in the shadows of the park, Ethan understood one thing clearly. He could not turn back now. He was in this with Talia, whether he wanted it or not. Deeper truth revealed Ethan and Talia crouched behind a cluster of bushes in the small park. The fog had thickened now, making everything look blurry and strange. Ethan's heart still raced from the chase. He tried to calm himself, but his mind was filled with questions. Talia finally spoke, her voice barely above a whisper. My people, we were peaceful, she said. Ethan listened carefully. I came from a world far from here. We wanted to meet humans, to share knowledge and live together. But some humans betrayed us, she said, her glowing lines flickering nervously. Ethan frowned. I don't understand, he said. Talia's eyes darkened with memory. We trusted them. We thought humans were heroes. Some humans helped my people in the past, but others wanted to capture us, to use our powers, she said. Her hands shook as she clutched the small metallic crystal against her chest. It contains a warning, something that humans need to know. But if it falls into the wrong hands, it could be destroyed. Ethan felt the weight of her words. He looked at the small crystal, glowing faintly. I will help you, he said. Talia's eyes widened. You would? Yes, Ethan said. I don't know how, but I won't let them take you. A soft hum filled the air again. The drones had returned, flying low. Talia froze instantly. They are close, she whispered. Ethan grabbed her hand. This way, he said. They moved slowly. Staying in the shadows, the park felt alive with unseen eyes. Every rustle of leaves sounded like footsteps as they reached the edge of the park. Talia spoke again. My powers are limited here. I cannot hide from them for long. Ethan noticed a building nearby, abandoned but tall. Maybe we can hide there, he suggested. Talia nodded. They ran silently toward the building. The drones scanned above, but the thick fog helped them stay unseen. Inside the building, it was dark and dusty. Broken windows let in faint moonlight. Ethan's eyes adjusted slowly. Talia lowered the crystal from her chest. This facility, they were studying me, experimenting on me. They wanted to control my abilities, but I escaped before they could finish, she said. Her voice trembled. They will not stop until they get me back. Ethan felt a chill run down his spine. He looked at her glowing lines again. They experimented on you. Like a prisoner, he whispered. Talia nodded slowly. Yes, but I survived, she said. She pressed the crystal tightly. This contains data, evidence of their plans. Ethan's eyes widened. This could change everything, he said. Talia nodded. Yes, if humans know the truth, they might help. Suddenly, A soft knock echoed through the building. It was slow, deliberate, almost too quiet. Ethan froze. Talia's glowing lines pulsed rapidly. "They know we are here," she whispered. Ethan's mind raced. "Should we hide?" he asked. Talia shook her head. "No, we must be ready." She moved to the shadows. Blending in, her glowing lines dimmed to almost nothing. The knock came again, louder this time, and Ethan realized they were not dealing with normal humans. A metallic scraping sound followed the knock. The air felt heavy, almost alive. Ethan gripped his fists. He had never felt so scared in his life, but he also felt something new, a strange courage rising inside him. He looked at Talia. She looked back with trust, and in that moment, Ethan understood. He could not run. He had to face whatever was coming next. Outside, the faint hum of drones returned. Inside, the shadows moved slowly, and somewhere deep inside, both Ethan and Talia knew the real danger was only beginning. HFY moment begins. Ethan and Talia crouched in the dark building. The abandoned walls echoed with every tiny sound. Ethan's heart was still pounding. He could hear the faint hum of the drones outside. The city felt empty, dangerous, and alive at the same time. Talia pressed the small crystal tightly to her chest. "It will guide us," she whispered. Ethan nodded, trying to understand. His hands were sweaty. He had never been in a situation like this before, yet something inside him told him he could not back down. "We need to move," Talia said. She led Ethan through a maze of dark corridors. Her glowing lines flickered softly, lighting the path. Ethan noticed her strength. Even though she was trembling, she had survived so much, and still she moved forward. He felt admiration and fear all at once. As they reached the edge of the building, a figure appeared in the doorway. It was a guard from the facility, robotic and precise. Its eyes glowed red as it scanned the room. Talia whispered quickly, "I can stop it." But only for a moment. She placed a hand on the wall. The air around her shimmered. Ethan watched in awe as her glowing lines expanded. The guard froze, its senses confused by her power. It was only a few seconds, but it was enough. They slipped past it into the night. Ethan ran beside Talia. He felt fear and excitement together. For the first time, he realized something about humans, their courage, their cleverness. Even against powerful machines, they could find a way. Talia noticed his determination. Her eyes softened. Humans are stronger than I imagined," she whispered. Ethan smiled, but he did not let his guard down. They reached the street. The drones were scanning above. Ethan noticed something strange about them. "They react slowly. They are not perfect," he said. Talia nodded. "Yes, use that. We can outsmart them." Ethan and Talia ducked behind a wall. He noticed a control panel on the side of a building, a way to confuse the drones. He motioned to Talia. She understood. Together they activated the panel. Lights flickered. Sirens rang softly. The drones paused. Their sensors scrambled. Ethan's human cleverness had given them a small advantage. Talia looked at him with surprise. You saved us," she said. Ethan shrugged. "I just used my brain," he said. But Talia smiled. "To survive, humans must think, plan, and act quickly," she said. Ethan realized that what he had always thought of as ordinary thinking fast, solving problems was exactly what made humans remarkable. They ran toward a small safe house Talia knew. Inside, she finally explained more about her people. "They are peaceful, intelligent, but hunted because of their abilities," she said. Ethan listened closely. "We must warn humans, so they know the truth." The crystal glowed brighter. It seemed to respond to the urgency. Ethan felt the responsibility on his shoulders. He was no longer just a man helping someone in trouble. He was part of something much bigger. Suddenly, the sound of drones grew louder. "They are coming again," Talia whispered urgently. Ethan's mind raced. He had to act. He had to help her send the warning, even if it meant risking his own life. For the first time, he understood why humans were special. Their courage, their ingenuity, and their will to help others, even against impossible odds. And as they prepared to face the next wave of danger, Ethan felt a strange confidence, a belief that together, he and Talia could survive. And maybe, just maybe, they could change the future. Finale plus strong ending. And Talia crouched in the safe house. The walls were old, cracked, and dusty. Outside, the low hum of drones grew closer. Ethan's heart raced. He could feel the danger pressing in. Talia held the glowing crystal tightly. "We must send the warning now," she said. Ethan nodded. He had never felt so responsible in his life. Every decision could change everything. Together, they approached a small terminal. The crystal pulsed as it connected with the device. Ethan followed Talia's instructions carefully. His hands trembled. The screen lit up, showing data about the secret facility, their experiments, their plans, and the truth about Talia's people. Suddenly, the door burst open. Facility guards entered, armed and dangerous. Ethan felt a surge of fear, but he also felt something stronger, determination. Talia stepped forward. Her glowing lines brightened. Energy flowed around her, a powerful force that seemed impossible. The guards hesitated. Ethan realized he had to act too. He used quick thinking to activate the alarms and confuse their sensors. Machines whirred and lights flashed. The guards stumbled, giving them precious seconds. Together, Ethan and Talia fought and ran. Every step was dangerous. Every moment counted. They reached the rooftop. Below, the city looked quiet and empty, but drones circled above, searching. Talia pressed the crystal one last time. A bright light shot into the sky. The data sent across the world instantly. Every human with access could now see the truth. Ethan watched in awe. The crystal dimmed. Talia looked at him, her eyes soft and grateful. You saved me," she said quietly. Ethan shook his head. "No, we saved each other," he said. She smiled faintly. Her lines glowed softly as the danger faded for a moment. The facility guards retreated, confused by the alarms and the light. Ethan realized humans had won this small battle, not because of power or weapons, but because of courage, quick thinking, and the will to protect others. Talia's glowing lines dimmed further. Her energy was low, but she was safe. At least for now. They sat together on the rooftop. Looking at the city lights below, Ethan felt a strange pride. He had been an ordinary man before, but tonight, he had done something extraordinary. Talia looked at him. "You have the heart of a hero." "Ethan," she whispered. He smiled. "Maybe humans are stronger than anyone thinks," he said. The night was quiet, but the city was no longer safe. Ethan knew more challenges would come, but he also knew he was ready. Together, he and Talia could face anything. The crystal had sent the warning. The world now knew the truth. And yet, somewhere deep inside, Talia whispered something only Ethan could hear. This was only the first warning. More are coming. Ethan felt a chill run down his spine, but he also felt hope. Humans could fight, humans could survive, and humans could be heroes, no matter how impossible the odds. As they looked at the city below, Ethan and Talia knew their journey was just beginning. And for the first time, Ethan smiled with courage, because he knew, together, they could face the future, no matter what came next.